Doctrine and Covenants 31 is going to introduce us to a man named Thomas B. Marsh, a man who's extremely important in the history of our church, as later on he is going to become the original president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles and be very influential in our early church history. Well, what leads Thomas Marsh to this point? How did he join the church? I want to share this cool story. Thomas and his wife had joined the Methodist Church, which she apparently enjoyed, but Thomas didn't. He said that he, quote, expected a new church would arise which would have the truth in its purity, end of quote. Here's what Stephen Harper says about what happens to Thomas. Quote, Thomas headed west, led by the Holy Spirit, in search of this new church. In Lionstown, New York, a woman asked Thomas, quote, if I had heard of the Golden Book, found by a youth named Joseph Smith. I informed her I never heard anything about it, and became very anxious to know concerning the matter, end of quote. He wrote, quote, she told me I could learn more about it from Martin Harris in Palmyra. He continued, I returned back westward and found Martin Harris at the printing office in Palmyra, where the first 16 pages of the Book of Mormon had just been struck off, the proof sheet of which I obtained from the printer and took with me. I mean, you guys, before I go on, that is cool timing to walk into the print shop as they're printing the Book of Mormon and meet Martin Harris there. Continuing on, as soon as Martin Harris found out my intentions, he took me to the house of Joseph Smith Sr., Here I found Oliver Cowdery, who gave me all the information concerning the book I desired. And by the way, I bet Oliver Cowdery did, the person who scribed the majority of the Book of Mormon. Stephen C. Harper finishes, Thomas kept in touch with Joseph and Oliver and was baptized in connection with the conference in Fayette that month, September of 1830. At the time Section 31 comes, Thomas B. Marsh is almost 31 years old. He'll turn 31 in November. He has 3 sons, and the oldest being 9. That will be reflected as he's called on this mission in Section 31, and he's worried about his family back at home. To me, Section 31 is one of the great sections where the Lord gives promises to missionaries, to people who are willing to sacrifice and follow his gospel. As you search Section 31, I'd invite you to look for some of those principles and promises that apply not only to Thomas B. Marsh, but apply to everybody who strives to serve the Lord and preach the gospel today.